Hello Capricorn, thank you for tuning into your love reading. For the main part of the reading, I'm using the Velima Tarot. It's by Renata Lechner, that's how you spell her name, and the tarot. And the supportive oracle cards are by Lucy Cavendish, the magical spell cards. Already shuffled. Relationship first, single second, Capricorn. Yeah, psychic protection at the bottom here. Oh boy, what are we talking about? Where that one card hit that just has me concerned. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure where we're going with this, so I'm just gonna start and pick up these two cards because it's the strongest piece here. I don't know if I like this. Now, you'd think the Lover's card is a good thing, but I'm noticing it's the Seven of Swords with the Lover's card. Alright, is this for you? It is for you, okay. Because I'm like, the way it was hitting here, I was like, if this is saying there's an outside influence, but I don't feel that. That's good. Just when I was just seeing it, I'm just like, where I'm seeing it, like, oh my goodness. But why we have the Seven of Swords with the Lovers is because I feel like they've done something they shouldn't have. They've done something they shouldn't have. But I'm not. I feel like the Lovers is for you though, and I'm seeing this Aphrodite's love spell with it. They're trying to hide something, and I'm getting they're very lovey. They're concentrating on the love with you. They do love you. They do love you. They did something they shouldn't have, and they're concentrating on this Aphrodite's love spell. Like they want to just schmooze you a little bit. They want you in a better mood. I feel like it's going to come forward at some point. And I do see this. Like, well, they also gave me this for where they're standing, the Ace of Cups, which the cup is for you. They do honestly love you, and they are. But even though they're trying to schmooze you, to like smooth over something that they did that they shouldn't have done, the fact that they love you, that's not negated. That's very much real. So like they're schmoozing you and loving you and all that stuff, but they truly do. But they did something they shouldn't have. I feel that again, and I'm getting the Queen of Cups here in their spiritual position with the Four of Swords. I feel like they're really worried that you're going to be upset about it, and they're really worried you're going to be really, really upset with them. They're very concerned about how you're going to take this information. Because they did something they shouldn't have. And I feel like it had something to do with finances. It's a general read. This could go different ways. Clearly. But I'm feeling a finance thing here. Like they spent something or they lost money somehow or they invested in something. And either you wouldn't have wanted it or they've lost money in it. And they're like, oh my God. They're like, oh boy. My Capricorn partner is going to be very upset about this. Very, very upset about this. Now, I feel they're schmoozing you. And while they're schmoozing you, I feel like they're also kind of telling you what's going on. And what I'm getting here while they're telling you, because it seems like while they're schmoozing you, they are telling you, you've got the King of Swords. You do love your partner. I'm not going to negate that. But I feel like with the King of Swords here, he's like, all right, I know you love me. I love you too. But I hear what you're telling me. And that's not cool. I love you. Yeah, you love me. I get it. That's great. But what you're doing, like, we're going to address that. Like I feel like it's not cold, but it's very forward. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I love you and you love me, but you're not gonna skate around this because you're being lovey-dovey. No, we're gonna deal with this, and we're gonna talk this out, and you're gonna tell me exactly what you did, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think about that. Because I feel like the schmoozing is kind of like it feels a little aggravating. I gotta be honest with you. I don't feel like you like how this your partner's trying to like be lovey dovey and this like, oh, I just kind of did this, and I'm sorry, and blah blah blah. And you're just like, yeah, well, you should be sorry because that was bad and that should not have happened. And I just feel like you're very stoic about it. Like, you know what? I love you and you love me, but that's not going to get you out of this because I'm really upset about this because you shouldn't have done that. And I'm not going to act like it's okay now because you're not going to do that again because I'm really going to get mad at you if you ever do that again. Like, I don't feel like you're letting them just smooth it over. You're just like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because if I act like it's okay now, you could do it again. And I'm not going to put up with that. No, absolutely not. Because I'm feeling whatever they did, it was crossing a line, and even though they're trying to schmooze you, and they honestly do love you, and I feel like you're like, yeah, I love you, you love me, yes, that's true, but we need to address what you did, because you're not going to do that again. And I'm getting like it's anger, but it's not like out of control rage, it's just very stoic, and just kind of like, it's almost like the schmoozing over kind of tempered you just a little bit, but it's still coming out what you think and what you feel and why that's not going to happen again. You're still addressing it. You're definitely addressing it. With the King of Swords not only smart, but very good communicator. And you will communicate exactly how you feel if you haven't already. Now, it goes forward, and I'm getting the safe travel with the authenticity and the beauty. I don't feel like this was a little thing to you. And I feel like you really, really kind of shook their tree a little bit. I don't feel like you flipping out or screaming, but you're very stoic. I'm feeling, and you just say it exactly what you're thinking, and you're just like, you're not going to do that again, and this is why you're not going to do that again. And I feel like you're getting right to the point. You're not being cruel. I don't feel like words, I don't feel like put downs or anything like that. You're just to the point, which I feel like makes it harder for them because it's kind of like you're being very sound and rational about why, and they don't have anything that they can like rebuke about it. They can't say you said this to me and that was mean, or I don't feel like they can do that. Like, cause you just went to the point about what was wrong, why it was wrong, and why it won't happen again. Just it feels just blunt because you're upset, but it's very sound and why it's just really laid out very well. And I'm getting these three cards. They're telling me that they're wondering if how much damage they did to this. And I'm seeing in the future they got the Eight of Swords. They're feeling really, really bad about the decision they made and the effect it had on you. And they're wondering if they really did a lot of damage to this relationship. Because I do feel like they have to come forward, and they might even tell you that they're worried, like how you feel about them, if things are going to be okay. I feel like they're coming. There's a second conversation, and I feel like they're coming forward about how bad they feel about it and how sorry they really are, and that they know you're really upset still. They want to do everything they can to make this right. I feel like they're just trying. They're afraid that this has really shaken the relationship. I feel like that's their fear, that this has really like cracked the foundation of the relationship. So they're coming towards you, and I'm getting that safe travel is like they're wondering like, are you going to want them to leave or something? Because I feel like it's that scary to them. Because I'm seeing that safe travel, and I'm getting like they're afraid that you might be really fed up with them. And they're coming forward with it, but the beauty is also saying like they need to get a little bit more confidence because I feel like it was a misstep, but they did tell you about it. They did. That's how I'm feeling this reading come through. So they need to come forward and say how scared they are because they're afraid that you're going to be done with them, that you're going to want to leave them. Like this situation feels that serious to them, and I feel like they're trying to address that. And when it comes forward to you, this second conversation, I'm noticing the Fool card, but the Fool card for you, it's more of a peace offering. I'm getting you go forward to them like that, because this does feel like this was a big deal. I don't feel like this was a little thing. To you, it's a big deal. But you're giving them a peace offering. Like, you know what, I can forgive you for this time, and however the two of you are making up for it. Like, I feel like you're giving them a peace offering. Like, this is how you can make this up to me. I don't believe you're ever going to do this again, so I trust you to not do that again to me. But the Fool card is like, you really are forgiving them. Because it takes that to really forgive somebody. You got to leave yourself open to the possibility of it happening again. And I feel like you're telling them, like, you know, you got your second chance. I really trust that you're not going to do this to me again. You know how upset I am, and I see how seriously you take this. I see how upset you are due to the aftermath of the situation. Granted, I don't think it really should have happened to begin with, but now that you know how bad it's going to play out, I don't see you making that decision again. Not that way. So I am trusting you to make this right, and I am trusting you not to do this again. The Fool card is telling me you're honestly forgiving them. And the Challenge card here for you is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles. It seems connected with the Fool card. And what I'm feeling here is like, if your partner spent more money than you were comfortable with, or did something like that you didn't want them to do, I'm getting the Ten of Pentacles working with the Fool card could be like, you know what, put forward what would make you feel safe. Should you have a joint account that you both have to sign off to get money out of? Or should it be a joint account where it can only be used for certain things? Maybe only one of you has access to take the money out online, and then the other person has to go into the bank and actually get it? Because I'm getting like the Ten of Pentacles is like, I feel like they're telling me I don't need to over-explain this. The Ten of Pentacles is your Challenge card, is like, what type of restriction on this situation would make you feel better and feel more secure? It still has to, like, I feel like you can restrict your partner if you're afraid that they're spending without you knowing, without completely blocking them from the funds. I don't know how that sounds, though, because that might sound a little weird the more I'm hearing it come out of my mouth. It's almost like if you both agree that one of you, and I'm not thinking it's you the way this is coming through, so if your partner tends to make irrational or quick decisions on money like that you're not comfortable with, maybe for both of you, like, it should be hard to get that money. Like, you should make it so it's in an account that neither of you can get it right away. That it can only be accessed, it's only for certain things, and you both make a restriction where you both have to go into your financial institution to access that money. Would that make you happy? Like, because I feel like something like that, like, I feel like you might feel more secure with it. Especially if you're trying to save money or something like that. I feel like you can both create an account where it can go into an account, and you can make restrictions on the account. I believe you can do this to where you both have to sign something to get money out of it, so that way you both know where that money's going. I feel like there's things you can do. The Challenge card is like to set something up to where you feel more secure. I feel like that's why this is in your Challenge position. Because I feel like it works for you emotionally, you feel safer because of this. And I'm getting it also helps your partner to not be so tempted because it's not easily attained. I feel like it helps you both, to be honest with you. I just feel like you got to be careful that it's not imbalanced. Be careful not to make it imbalanced. Like, if you're going to make it so the money is away from both of you, it should be equally hard for you to both get to that money. I don't feel like you would have a problem with that, but it might help your partner get more control over their spending, if that's an issue here. All right, they're saying we can leave that. Now, I'm seeing as the forgiveness comes towards your partner, their Challenge card is to realize everything they still have. To not drown on the mistake of the past, but to go forward with the success of knowing that they have learned their lesson. And if these restrictions come forward, like those restrictions are for their benefit as well as yours. Um, and I feel like that just be careful to make it as equal as possible if that's what you have to do. Because I'm getting that they need their challenge is to like center on what they have, to be thankful that they still have this relationship, and to go forward with strength and not to hold themselves back with regret. It's too late to regret. Um, to go forward and just realize lesson learned, making better decisions forward. Holding to regret and drowning yourself in regret, I've never really seen that empower anybody, to be honest with you. But to, acknowledge the past and be like, I'm going to make better decisions in the past, but in the future, because of things I did in the past, like empowering yourself that way, that can help. But not drowning yourself like, oh, I wish. No, go forward with empowerment. Like I learned, so I'm going to make better decisions going forward. Good? Good. Because I feel like they're going to be okay. And I'm seeing on your side, like what might happen here is like you moving towards your partner with more, like I feel like you might have to take them out to dinner or do something with them to help reinforce how you still love them, because you definitely still love them. They definitely still love you. And like just kind of like to reinforce that forgiveness feeling here. I don't feel like that's a problem for you. But the spiritual side here of, because I do feel like you want to be close to them, you want to forgive them, you want to be, excuse me, that was disgusting, sorry, I hope you couldn't hear that on camera. That just came out of nowhere. Because I feel like that you might have a little bit of a reservation here. I don't think much, because I still feel like you're completely forgiving them. But I feel like you want to go forward with the advancement of love here. Because when it's all said and done, I'm getting the 5 of Swords here for you. And I feel like you're going to be standing in this spot where you're just kind of like, all right, it worked out. Things are okay. And they worked out the way I wanted them to after the fact. But I feel like you're worried that, like, even though this worked out this time, like you don't rejoice in things working out the way you want them to after the fact. You don't rejoice in that at all. And it's like you got a hold of the situation. You got it put together the way you wanted. When all was said and done, you forgave. They admitted. I feel like they did admit to like their misstep. I feel like they knew that all along. But I feel like even though things in the end are working out better after the fact, I feel like it's a fruitless victory, because even though it's going your way, the fact that it went south for a moment there, it did take its toll. So it's kind of like you're not rejoicing in this win. You're thankful that it's going forward in a better way, but it's one of those things where I wish it didn't go that south anyway. Because what makes things better for them is the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like this, even though you're not rejoicing in this victory, I do feel like this is helping your partner create a more stable future. Whatever the misstep was, this is something that they have a problem with, and I feel like the way this came out, the forgiveness, I'm getting you're helping your partner kind of curtail this, because I don't feel like this is the only time that they've had a problem with this in their life, that's for sure. And there's other areas of life that they kind of have this similar effect. And I'm getting like you're helping them get it together. Because this is what helps them. Solidifying this a little better. I'm getting more restriction is probably helpful. Not that the Ace of Pentacles is a restrictive card, but it's a very stable step forward. It's a great new beginning. And I'm getting this is a great new beginning. This is helping them in a lot of different ways. Not just your relationship, but other ways as well. And I'm getting what helps you is to see the history of this person, see their intention, see how like they can. I feel like they can be a little bit random, I guess you would say, a little bit spontaneous. And just you seeing like where this usually goes and what's usually behind that thought and feeling. Like what usually motivates that. And I feel like you can be okay. And I feel like this is a helpful thing, because looking at it in the past and see how that spontaneity went in a good way, how you've actually enjoyed that at times in certain ways, I feel like that helps you too. Because I do feel like this works out good. I do feel like this works out well. It's just one of those things where you're not really over excited about the win because you're just kind of like, I didn't really want to play this game. The fact that I won, I didn't want to play anyway. Like I didn't want to play this version. And the bottom card here, the psychic protection, just like keep yourself together, which I feel like you're gonna, but like nobody did anything to anybody out of malice. It's just kind of like, I feel like you see, that's another thing about this card, seeing how this person works and how they're a little bit spontaneous. It's not against anybody, it's just kind of a little less than thinking things all the way through. Okay, they're telling me just to wrap this up. Alright, now I think we're good with this one. Let's do Capricorn singles and see what we got there. I just noticed, I think all the cards for the Oracle cards were on your partner's side. That psychic protection was on your side a little bit. It was kind of between the two of you. But I feel like that worked out well. Alright, let's go into Capricorn singles. Messages for Capricorn singles. Messages for Capricorn singles. Messages for Capricorn singles. Messages for Capricorn singles. Empowering information to help them see what's really happening and help them move forward the way they want to. Okay. Let's shuffle these. And I know well enough at this point. Just because a card comes out, it doesn't automatically mean one thing. I have to wait till I get to it to find out what it's really trying to say. Because there's a lot of good going on here, and there's a couple questionable spots. One in particular, I'll be honest with you, but... no, see, it feels grounded. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Somebody, like, I feel like somebody has already told you how they feel. You feel the same way. I feel like the Ace of Cups here is in the past. Acknowledgement of feelings has already happened. If this is hitting with you, I feel like acknowledgement of feelings has already happened. And what I'm getting is this: you might be still considering yourself single because even though this acknowledgement happens, you're like, let's take it slow and just see where it goes. I don't want to commit to anything right off the bat, but let's date for a while and just see how we actually match up. Yes, there's passion between us, but let's see where it goes. So I'm getting that the other person has the Ten of Pentacles. They feel very safe in this thought. They feel very secure. They see this building. They see this going in a good direction. They don't have a problem with this. I don't feel like they've had a problem with this because they're seeing progression. And they're feeling that you're on the same page. As long as it's going and it's building, that's okay. As long as it's not stagnating, they're okay. And I'm getting it on your side, you have the Queen of Cups. Like, you felt very strongly from this person from the get-go. You're just trying to keep it together. You're analyzing the relationship. You're just making sure the two of you really match. You're trying to keep your feelings, a little calm. But you definitely are feeling it for this person. Now, the top card I'm seeing here is the Fool card. I'm getting you're kind of jumping ahead a little bit every now and then. And the Fool card is telling me you're kind of like, you're having these moments where things seem to be fast forwarding and then they're going back to where they are. It's almost like if you're listening to a song, it's jumping ahead like 30 seconds and then coming back to where it left off and continuing on. And then it jumps ahead and plays a little bit, and it comes back and continues where it was. Because I feel like the Fool card is saying it feels like things are kind of like maybe getting ahead of themselves every now and then, but then you're just kind of like, no, we're just casually seeing each other. And then they get really intense. They're like, no, we're just casually seeing each other. It just feels like it's jumping ahead and then it's kind of like trying to cool down. Then it's jumping ahead, then it's coming back to where you were. I'm feeling that Fool card in that sense. And I'm getting what's happening here with the Two of Cups in the center and the Six of Cups. I'm getting you're seeing what's going on between the two of you, and it's feeling like it's kind of starting to get a little faster. and it's starting to get a little more intense. I'm getting you're looking back, like from the moment you met, or from the moment you acknowledged your feelings for each other's. Let's do that. From the moment you acknowledged those feelings, you knew that this was here, and you're not feeling any different now than you did then. And I'm getting at this point is where you want to communicate to the other person with the King of Swords, because I'm getting at some point with you and this person, you're having a very intense, in-depth conversation. How you felt, how you feel. The Queen is giving her cup, and I feel like don't get caught up in the gender, male, female, them, whoever, whatever gender, it doesn't matter. Don't get caught up in this being a queen. I'm just feeling like this is coming forward and you're having a very intense conversation. And I feel like you're both agreeing that this is something you both want to try. And I'm getting you're going forward with the Chariot. Like this conversation with the King of Swords energy that is the conversation between the two of you. Very honest, very developed, very in-depth. Very evolved, like you're getting to the nuts and bolts of it. Like you're really having a very intense conversation, and the Chariot is telling me this is going forward fairly quick, but the situation has been going quick from the get-go. It's almost like you've gotten kind of accustomed to the quick pace. It's almost like you've gotten accustomed to it. You got used to it. Now, the thing is, when that happens and this goes forward, it seems like it goes forward quickly. And you're committed. Because it seems like that's where this is heading. When that happens, I feel like things kind of cool down. I'm getting the Eight of Swords with the Peace. Because I feel like now that you both acknowledged where you want to go, how you feel, where you're heading, like you're committed to each other, I feel like they kind of cool down. Things kind of cool down. And you got the Eight of Swords with the Peace. Now that you know where things are going, I'm getting the Eight of Swords as sorting it out. Because I'm feeling that this feels really intense. And I'm getting you're still, like, this is a single read, so I'm feeling like you're living on your own, but you've both decided you want to live together, or whatever that needs to be. You want to be together. The Eight of Swords is telling me there's a lot of obstacles here with that. But the Eight of Swords is also a card of self-imprisonment. They're telling me just open yourself to the thoughts, let the ideas come to you. All you got to do is research possibilities at this point. To have the peace here, you need to release yourself from the Eight of Swords, which is self-imprisonment. Just research the possibilities. That's all they're saying. Just research the possibilities. You don't have to commit to anything. And as you research the possibilities, you'll get that peace. You'll feel more relaxed. Things will seem better than you expect. Especially when I see in the environment for this other person, they have the creativity. They have a lot to offer here. They can show you ideas or possibilities you were not considering. All you have to do is research the possibilities. That's all you have to do, and you'll be okay. You'll be able to release yourself from this self-imposed prison. Because I do feel like it goes really fast, and then you commit to each other, and you know where you want to be together. And then it's like, oh my God, how are we going to make that happen? Like, oh my God. Like, whoa. Like, it was one thing to figure it out how it was going to be, and we were just kind of living through that. At least I was. Like, I feel like that's the Capricorn sign. Like, I was just living through that. But now that we've committed to it, how are we going to make this happen? Don't let yourself get mired down. Let your partner present possibilities. Just research the possibilities. That's all it's going to take, and it'll unfold on its own. Just research the possibilities. Don't poo-poo things. Don't negate it out. Just research it. Just see what would happen. Just research it. Research. That's all you need to do. Nothing has to happen. Just research it. You'll be okay. I feel like that's the strongest part of this whole part of the read. They're saying just research it. Don't stress yourself. If your partner gives you an option and you're just like, oh, I don't know about that, don't get worried about it. Just research it. Researching it will not make it happen. Because if you research it and you find out something is definitely not doable, then it's not doable. If you're having your own thought and you're like, well, this can't happen, that would be horrible, instead of feeling that way, just research it. What happens if you did do that? Research it. Talk to people that it would affect. How would it affect them? Just research it. That's all you need to do. You'll be okay. I think I've said that 50 times. I'm going to wrap that up there, actually, because that seems to be just the only thing that's coming in at this point, since we went through all the cards. Because I'm getting the Four of Swords is like, in your thoughts, like thinking it through, giving yourself time to think it through when you get to this part. All you have to do is research it, and I'm feeling you're going to be okay. Good? Good. All right, thank you for watching. I'm going to wrap it up there. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.